Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria now for some book chats. Today's author is Adeola Adeoti, and she'll be discussing her book, The Portable Handbook for Purposeful Living. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, I like the fact that you're so chilled and calm.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about the inspiration for this book. It's quite an interesting read, I must say.
Thank you very much. Well, I think apart from the fact that I really wanted to share my journey towards self-confidence, I wasn't always very confident.
Oh, okay.
So I really wanted to share that. And another thing is I really like, one of the things that gives me fulfillment is seeing people deciding and committing to live really intentionally. So I really shared all of those things in this book, and basically that's the inspiration.
All right, fantastic. Now let's move on to your first chapter, which is the reason. And here you highlighted the Asian culture, about ikigai.
Yes.
Yes, the reason for being.
Yes.
Can you explain further on that?
So ikigai, I really didn't go in depth into that because so ikigai is like a framework that the Japanese use. It's to help you. There are certain questions that are there. So it's to help you arrive at a place where you can say, okay, I know why I'm here. I have a reason for being and stuff. So that's why I highlighted it in the book. Yes.
Okay. And here you also, spread more light on the need for purpose, why one needs to have purpose. But first of all, a lot of people, are just, prancing around, not knowing what their purpose is. So can you explain further on what is purpose?
So basically, like the first chapter says, the reason. That's really what it is. It's your reason for being here. And I feel like you said, there are a lot of people just walking around with no purpose.
Yeah.
Some might actually be walking in purpose, but because there's so much ambiguity surrounding the issue of purpose. I'm not saying that purpose is not an important thing, it's why I wrote the book. But there's so much, when you talk about purpose, so many people shrink because they feel like they want something really extra. And I wrote that in there, that your reason for being may just be something little, but we're so associated with big things that we don't even consider those little things. So you might actually be walking in purpose and you don't even know, because you want to be the person that makes something really extra. So it's why I really explained those things in the book. So.
Yeah, and here you highlighted the 3 P's to purpose. You want to explain further on that?
Yeah, I think there's potential.
Yeah,
there's
prayer, and there's passion.
Yes, so I saw that in Sunday school. I think I wrote it.
Yes,
yes.
You
I saw that in Sunday school. So I felt to add it in the book, that those things, when it comes to potential, there's some things that are within you that you need to discover or you need to work on. And there's also passion. Right? Passion helps you, is what gets you up. It's something that gets you fired up, and it helps you to actually build on those potentials. And of course, there's prayer. Prayer is the key.
Yeah, prayer is everything.
Yes,
in this part of the yes, it is. Now let's talk about some of the affirmations that you wrote down here. I've noticed that for every chapter there were affirmations.
Yes.
And this is not something that people are used to in this climate.
Absolutely.
And what is the importance of affirmations?
So basically, I really love affirmation. It's why I included them here. I discovered affirmations when I was, getting to become confident in myself. And I just feel like they're really empowering. When I use affirmations, there's a certain way that I feel. And I just thought to share with the world. On my social media, I always, they know me for affirmations and stuff. So I think it was really important for me to include it here. After every chapter, there's a need to really just feel that empowerment. So it's why I use affirmations a lot. I think they are great tools towards personal development and self-confidence.
Self-confidence. I like that. Let's quickly talk about the imposter syndrome. Talking about self-confidence. Yes. The imposter syndrome is one, would I call it a condition? But it is something that a lot of people deal with. You're losing confidence in yourself. You can do it, but you're not sure if you should do it. And here you are lighted on ways to get rid of it. You want to expatiate more on that?
Yeah, so the truth is you don't really get rid of it. That's the truth.
Okay.
Because it's always going to be there. But the thing is, you are aware of it and you know how to move forward. There's always going to be a little voice. When you know you're supposed to do something, there's always going to be that voice to tell you that, what do you think you're doing, you know? But you are now aware of it and you know that it's just that negative voice and you can go ahead and do it. So it doesn't really go away. Basically, you're just living with it. But the good thing about it is that you still get to do those things that you want to do. Imposter syndrome, it really stops people in their tracks. So, but you can always do it afraid, is what I always say.
All right, in your book, you also shared some of your personal experiences towards finding your purpose. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
So basically, like I said earlier, this book was birthed, you know, as a result of sharing my personal journey. I said I wasn't always confident, you know, because of my height. I allowed it to really affect me. I wasn't putting myself out there, and, you know, it really affected me for a greater part of my life. So I really wanted to just share that you don't really need to allow the way you look or the way you walk or the way you talk affect certain things. You can be great the way you want to be. You know, basically I owned it. It's why you see the portable handbook, the portable. I really want to be known as the portable everything. So I sort of just turn it around for myself because it used to bother me before. So I decided to just turn it around for myself, and it has really helped me to, you know, live.
Well, to be honest, the minute I saw you, it rang a bell. Like I could connect the dots.
That's the idea.
All right. So here you also talked about positive vibes or I mean, we are often faced and sometimes, you know, surrounded with people with negative energy. I mean, at work, everywhere, even in the marketplace, you go everywhere, people are just, there's just too much negative energy, you can't take it. And here you are trying to, you know, you're trying to keep this positive energy within yourself. You're constantly affirming yourself. How do you, you know, bounce all of that negative energy off while still maintaining that positive mindset?
Yeah, so I think I said here that basically everything that is listed in this book requires willpower. It requires a lot of intentionality. It's not easy to be a positive person in such a negative place. You know, so it requires intentionality. And being positive doesn't mean you have to be happy at all times. It's just having that belief that even in the bad times, there's still something ahead. You know, and positivity, there are days where you feel really down, and that's why I also highlighted that it's very important that you surround yourself with positive people like you. So on those days where you are absolutely drained or you're not even feeling it at all, there's someone to still lift your spirit, and it requires intentionality, like I said. So
fantastic. Now let's talk about the God factor here, which wraps up this handbook. The importance of the God factor. Would you say something brief on it quickly?
So really, I just think that God is the author of purpose. I'm a Christian, so I believe God is the author of purpose. You know, He made us, and so ultimately, for you to discover your reason, you need to go back to Him and align yourself with God.
Thank you so much, Adeola Adeoti.
Thank you so much.
This is such an impactful book. I would recommend it for every young person out there still, you know, trying to discover yourself, still trying to find your purpose. This is a must read for you. All right, right now we need to go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.